here's the cricket story, okay? Think about grabbing a cricket and putting it in a jar or a plastic container. When you put the cricket in the jar or the plastic container, it is going to jump, trying to get out, but because the lid is on, it'll soon give up and realize there's no way of getting out of this jar. Okay, then you put a second cricket in, and that cricket does the same thing. It jumps, tries to get out. The other cricket is not jumping anymore because he knows that you can't get out. So the second cricket just finally gives up and ends up just staying in the jar and doesn't try to jump, doesn't try to get out. And then these two crickets get married and have a beautiful baby, a little baby cricket, and they teach that cricket not to jump, not to try to get out of the jar, because they both failed at getting out of the jar and both saw that there was no way of getting out. Now, if you think about it, some of us are that baby cricket. Some of us have family members, parents, just people who have guided us in our life, like maybe you grew up with your grandma and grandpa and they never got out of the box. See, I grew up in a family that didn't have a lot of money, and their only solution to having money is to having a 9-to-5 job. And so when I jumped out of the 9-to-5 job circuit and decided to be an entrepreneur, it was scary because no one in my family had ever done it. No one in my family had ever been a successful entrepreneur. And so for those of you who are listening to this story, whether it's like leaving a corporate job or getting a divorce or getting out of debt or losing the weight, sometimes, or going back to school and getting your master's degree, sometimes we look to the people that we love for encouragement, advice, and they can't. They have never been outside of the jar. They've never been outside of that box, that plastic box that's holding them in that little container. So when people start to give you their own fears, their own anxieties, their own stress about your circumstance, remember, you are that little baby cricket that is finally going to get out of that jar.